Just one win in 5 games. Well, Coach Dave Yeager on the bench for the Grizzlies, as always. He's a coach who completely embodies the roster and franchise that he works for. Kenny, what can you say about Yeager's approach and how he handles his team?
He's not a guy that's going to be flapping his arms around. He's very quiet, hardworking, probably overlooked on how good a coach he is because his demeanor is so calm. But he's got a very practical approach. You know, everything he does. He's not flashy, but he's very effective, guys.
Here in San Antonio, the Tower of the Americas, standing 750 feet tall in the center of Hemisphere Park. It's an all-Western Conference matchup, and today's game as the Grizzlies come into town for this one. It's Wednesday Night Basketball, live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me, Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and courtside Doris Burke. You take a look at... The Spurs, they return victorious from an undefeated road trip back to the loving embrace of their hometown faithful.
And it's been a one-sided season series thus far. I mean, they've won all 3 games and can make it a clean sweep here tonight.
Not just an edge in matchups, but a mental edge as well. I mean, they figured out right away this season how to exploit this team's weaknesses, and they've been relentless in doing it.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So on the floor for Memphis, Allen and Green are the wings. Randolph is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. And it's Conley in at the point guard. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
I briefly spoke with Dave Yeager. He talked about the respect he has for the game of LaMarcus Aldridge and how tough it will be for them to slow him down, saying Aldridge is tough because he can score facing up or with his back to the basket. And with his length, it's tough to bother his shot. We'll look to deny him the ball when we can and just try to make it as hard as possible every touch. Kevin will see how successful they are.
Thank you, Doris. Gasol hits them both. And Leonard has it in the corner. Aldridge with a screen on Conley. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Second chance shot in deep. Zeller drops it in. Zeller's got his first points of the game.
How about 3 or 4 from the floor to start? That's always a good sign.
Green passes to Randall. Battles through traffic and lays it in. The Spurs have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Zeller setting the pick for Parker. He dishes it to Aldridge. Out to the right wing. Gasol with the steal. 3 on 3. Conley with it, picked up by Aldridge. Conley dishes to Allen. Kicks to Gasol. From 7, and that's off the glass and in.
You know, he's got a lot of inches on the defender in that matchup, and he can just shoot right over the top of him without worrying about being bothered.
Aldridge with a screen on Conley. Parker double teamed. At the elbow, it's free. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's on Tony Allen. The Spurs shooting their first free throws of the game.
Taking 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. No good on the second free throw. The Grizzlies have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Picked by Randall. Pass to Allen. 9 feet out. That's tipped. And that's out of bounds. Memphis will retain possession. And so it's Memphis with it. They trail by 1. Clock at 6. Randolph can't hit.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
A nice shot by Zeller.
And early on, they've been nearly perfect from the floor. Just the one miss here on their first 5 attempts.
Here is Conley. He's coming off a 22-point game against the Clippers.
And how about how opportunistic he was defensively? Steal after steal for him in that game. Just showed the quickness of his hands and anticipation. And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Leonard with the ball. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game.
Well, what a smart pass that time by Aldridge.
Here's Conley, trailing by 5. First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. He feeds it to Gasol. Back to Conley. Gasol a screen. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The 11-footer. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Gasol's got 6. Well, it was the San Antonio Spurs winning their last game against Memphis.
And even in hostile territory, as they were that day, they had no jitters at all. I mean, the confidence kept growing as the shots kept falling.
And they were falling big time. I mean, from the top to the bottom of that roster, everybody was locked, loaded, and spraying jumpers.
Now here's Freak, following the miss by Tony Allen. Well, you might have been wondering who the top scoring small forwards have been over the last 10 games. Wonder no more. Here's a peek. Fourth, Freak.
A lot of the NBA's most explosive players man that small forward position, and you're looking at a pretty good collection of them right there.
Well, I would go beyond pretty good, Craig. I mean, they are special players at the offensive end. Impossible to defend in any kind of conventional way. I mean, you've got to be creative to try to slow these guys down.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Anderson Varejão's checked in for Zeller. Diaw comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Anderson, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Green in for Tony Parker. Now here's Conley. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Here's the teardrop. The shot will not go. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. Freak kicks to Green. It's deflected. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Wright.
You know what? A low percentage pass on that one, but sometimes it's worth the risk.
Well, that time the risk did not pay off because it was well defended.
Parker's checked in for the Spurs. An almost entirely new group here. Zeller, he's checked in for Varejão. Aldridge comes in for Boris Diaw. Kawhi Leonard is checked in for Anderson. And Freak subbed in for Daniel Green. Freak in at shooting guard. Aldridge out there with Zeller. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Parker in at the 1 spot. That's the San Antonio 5. Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down now to just 6 in the basket from Shelvin Mack. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Grizzlies played a role for them. He finished with 15 points, and he made them pay over and over from the line. A lot of free throws for him. A bit of a surprise attack for him, as he is usually just regarded as a role player on his team.
All right, Doris. Well, what do you guys think? Does that kind of big performance energize a player in his next game?
Guys, it's tricky, because when you work as hard as he did in that game, you tend to be a little worn down. But on the other hand, he also has to be feeling terrific in terms of the confidence about the state of his game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, I'd say mentally he's in peak condition, while physically he could probably use a recharge.
Now here's Leonard after the Marcus Olmos. Gasol with the steal. And now running it up the court. Matt pushing it up. They get it back. Allen passes to Green. The jump shot from the baseline is right on target. Green's got 6.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
And the jam by Tyler Zeller.
Tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
Green, the screen. Back to Randolph. Takes the turnaround J, and it's Freak with the rebound.
They are really getting the work done inside with their rebound.
The defensive backboard has been controlled. They have not allowed a lot of second chances. It's been about one and done for the most part, and I'm not talking about leaving college.
Yeah, I know you're not. That's a bunch of good rebounding taking place there, boy.
So it's the Grizzlies now, following the three-pointer by Freak. Mag dishes to Allen. Puts it up from 17. Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut to just 9 on the basket from Gasol. And the pass to Freak. There's the dish to Zeller. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
41 seconds left now here in the second. And Matt kicks to Randolph. No good. It's the Spurs taking it the other way. They traveled to Memphis last time they faced the Grizzlies and came away with the win.
Yeah, the confidence just exuding in that performance on the offensive end. I mean, really illustrates how this team clicks when guys are communicating and executing as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, roadkill is hard to get in this league. I mean, to be a great NBA team, you've got to be able to have that kind of performance on the road. Focused, purposeful, and productive. Really solid.
Here's Mack. From deep. And good on the basket. Book it. Mack's got 5 points in the quarter. And that does it for the first half of play. It's the Spurs leading by 10. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. Coach Popovich, a strong first half.
The second half about to start here in just a few moments.
We've watched Gasol play great basketball. 12 points, and he's come up with a couple of nice steals today, too.
Clark, just a very energetic brand of defense.
Getting underway here in the second half. Here's the 5 for Dave Yeager. Conley and Allen in the backcourt. Green is the 3 with Zebo at the 4. And it's Gasol. And at the 5, roaming the paint. Spurs leading by 8. They set the pick. Outside Aldridge. It's rebounded by Memphis. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
And really, given how they performed offensively, guys, they just never had a chance.
Yeah, and you can see their frustration growing and growing as they continue to come up empty on their possessions. By the end, they were just happy to watch the clock wind down and move on.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
Almost an impossible shot to block in the post. The defender can't give up that much of a height advantage and expect to contest it.
Memphis shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
And, guys, that's really an upgrade over how they shot last season. Not a huge upgrade, but an upgrade nonetheless.
Parker kicks to Freak from 12 feet out. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got his 5th assist in this one. Outside Conley. Dishes to Randolph. And we're about a minute and a half here into the second half. Sinks that one from the post.
They are on fire right now. That's 4 straight makes.
Parker against Conley. To the middle. It's deflected. Here's Aldridge. Rejected by Randolph. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. Anderson Varejau's checked in for Tyler Zeller. Grizzlies making a switch here. Passes it to Aldridge. Trying to find Parker. He's got it now. And it's Freak missing.
He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys. But as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much.
Outside Conley. Wright sets a screen for Conley. Baseline Jay on the way. Kicks it out to Allen. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Feeds to Neal. Second chance shot. That one goes. Count it. Now just a 1-point San Antonio lead.
How about this run they're in the midst of? On the verge of tying it up or maybe even taking the lead.
Has been an unreal turnaround, and I give a lot of credit to the defense right along with what they did on offense, because the defense actually gave them the spark they needed.
They set the screen. Wright sets a screen. Neal passes to Conley. The feed to Humphries. 4 on the clock. Allen's shot is off. San Antonio leading by 3. Parker outside. He kicks to Freak. And it's Humphries with the rebound.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
The drive by Allen. Pass to Neal. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
A different look now for San Antonio. Boris Diaz checked in for Aldridge. Green comes in for Freak, and it's Kyle Anderson in for Parker. The Grizzlies also making a change. Max checked in. Grizzlies. Marc Gasol's checked in for Wright. Randolph comes in for Chris Humphries, and it's Green in for Shelvin Mack. Neal dishes to Conley. There's 42 seconds left in the third. Here's Randolph. And a missed layup.
Look at the big fella working on that possession. He knows how to fend guys off and get those rebounds.
Here's Diaw. Rejected by Gasol. They retain possession. That one goes. Count it.
They're strong. Away from the three-point game here in the second half. And that's fine as long as they're on the lead and they're getting good shots. They've decided not to take nearly as many three-pointers in this half.
Good-looking screen by Gasol. Outside, Green. He dishes it to Randolph. Just 5 on the clock. Got a piece of it. Green. Can't get it to go. Well, it's been an exciting game. Plenty of offense as we head to the fourth quarter. Spurs lead by 7. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here. Hello, and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Freak is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Zeller in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the San Antonio 5. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Spurs.
You know, I thought maybe they'd cool off a bit at halftime, but they've continued to bury the jump shots.
Another thing they've done tonight well is share the ball. So many of their points have come off of good crisp passes.
Outside Gasol. Kicks it to Allen. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. Spurs leading by 8. Parker outside. From 18 feet away. Jump shot is good that time.
I mean, Tony Parker's just showing us how it's done with that beautiful shot of his.
Parker's gone 5 of 7 from the field. That's over 71% actually. Gasol a screen. Conley kicks to Allen. They kick it out to Green. Memphis moving it around. 4 on the shot clock. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. And stolen by Zeller. Parker against Conley. Pass to Green. He feeds it to Parker. To the paint. It's stolen by Green. Conley into the lane. Left side, Randolph. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. And the technical free throw is good. White, he's checked in for Memphis. Humphries comes in for Zach Randolph. On defense, San Antonio. They've only given up 1 point in the fourth quarter, and it's Green missing. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Freak with it, and Allen picks him up defensively. And stolen by Wright. Green against Green. Allen kicks to Conley. Picked by Humphries. Conley, the pass to Humphries. Here's Wright, and the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it. A 3-point play.
Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
Timeout Spurs.
Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. And there's the pass to Aldridge. To the paint. And Freak gets it to go on the assist by Aldridge. 16 points for Freak.
He always knows where his teammates are going to be, and Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right where. Waiting for him.
Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Green. The dish to Zeller. Passes to Green. Feeds it to Freak. He kicks to Aldridge.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
Spurs. Marcus Aldridge. Taking 2 shots.
And he makes the first. And so LaMarcus Aldridge nails them both.
We're seeing today what makes him one of the best free throw shooters among the league's big men. Beautiful stroke.
Allen kicks to Humphries. Inside. Conley's shot is off.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
And that one's good. Freak.
And now, your Spurs dance team.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Dave Yeager coaching his team during that break. He told them, guys, we're getting bogged down in the half court. Let's get out and run, see what's available in early offense. If there's nothing there, we can always back it out and run our sets. Good advice, Kevin.
And when he's got that much of a height advantage on the perimeter, it's really tough on the defender. Easy three-pointer.
Parker dishes to Aldridge. Oh, and that one had the... Right spin on it, and it is good. And the Spurs lead by 9.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game. From him offensively.
And here is Allen. Right side, Conley. It's stolen by Green. Parker passes the Freak. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got his 9th assist in the game now.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight.
Down low, and it goes out of bounds. That one's off Parker.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Some changes for Memphis. Marc Gasol is checked in for Wright, and it's Zach Randolph in for Chris Humphries. To the paint, and stolen by Zeller. And oh, here we go with Green. Nobody back. Gasol with the steal. It's Allen on the wing. Conley against Parker. Gasol kicks to Randolph. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
So far in the game for Randolph, he has 8 points and 1 rejection in this game, too.
And was it a good one? Really, one of their highlights of the game defensively.
Free throw drops for Zach Randolph. That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2.
Not nearly as productive a trip to the line as he'd have liked. They need all their free throws to go down at this point.
Conley against Parker. It's rebounded by Memphis. Randolph's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down to 9 in the bucket from Allen.
And he placed that pass out in front of him and let him just run into it in rhythm.
San Antonio's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Zeller dishes to Freak. Aldridge the pass to Green. And a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in. And the Spurs lead by 11.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here in what looks to be a solid win for San Antonio.
2 great rebounding teams, Clark.
Yeah, and these guys just worked a little bit harder tonight. That was the edge that was needed.
And now on the year, this will take them to 28 wins.
Wow, they finished the season series undefeated. 4 games, 4 wins, really asserting their dominance.
Well, they're going to finish, like you said, 4-0 against them, and you're right, very impressive.
And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for Freak. It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel. And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
To the paint, and Gasol sends it back. Conley. And so it's San Antonio with the win. Some good moments throughout this one, but they had the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, and I thought good execution really played a big part throughout.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Marcus.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, Freak.
You know, Freak was a 4.0 honor student growing up. And tonight, that high IQ is one of the things we saw on display with that sensational performance. Combine his smarts with the fact that he lives and breathes basketball, there's no doubt that he's one of the most intelligent players we have in this league.
You know what, Ernie? I must admit it. I didn't see this kind of performance coming from him tonight. He's been coming off a stretch of game where he just looked lost out there. To see him turn around this quickly, it's a nice surprise. Play after play, he was getting after it, making plays, and making it look easy.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.